They are here! The Blood Angels have hit the game. So, in this video, we are going to take a first look across all of their cards. Now, many of the cards have shown up in the early reveal videos, but this will be a video where we actually look at all the Blood Angel cards together, starting with their warlords and then going through. And I'll give you my initial thoughts on them. I haven't gone through them myself, so you'll be seeing my own reaction. Alright, enough of that. Let's get started. Okay, so the only warlord we saw in the preview was Sanguinius, but we'll come on to him in a bit. Let's take a look at the basic rare warlord for the Blood Angels, which is going to be Meros. Let's open that up and take a look. So, okay, what do we have? 2 attack and 30 health, just like pretty much all the rare warlords. He has Requiem, so when one of his neighboring troops dies, he gives a bonus to a random friendly unit. And for 2 energy, he heals 2. It doesn't say to himself, so it sounds as though he'll be able to heal 2 to any of his units on the board. Okay, that's not bad, I guess. His Requiem ability is just giving bonus health to units. It's feels a bit underwhelming. Most of the apothecary style warlords don't tend to get much playtime in the game because it's quite heavily skewed, especially at the top, towards the more aggressive warlords. Alright, before we judge Meros too harshly, let's take a look at his voice lines over here. So let's see. How do we go?
Just Meros will do. Don't saddle me with titles.
Okay, he's got a very British voice. I like that.
I will fight and die for Sanguinius.
What kind of foe are you?
Are you hungry to be a hero? The tales of greater men than I are for posterity. Glory in the angel's name.
Okay, alright, I can see that. His sort of greeting's a bit lame, I think. Most of the other ones are sort of okay. But anyhow, his chat lines are one thing, but his abilities, I am not feeling very overwhelmed with him. Yeah, we'll see. Alright, let's take a look at the next one, which is Raldoron. So Raldoron is the first captain of the Blood Angels. His ability, oh, that's now interesting looking. Deal 1 damage, and if the target dies, give +1 attack and health to a random adjacent unit to him. So it's a little bit situational. It relies on him having a unit nearby, as well as an enemy on the board, or frankly even a friendly unit, because it doesn't say deal 1 damage to an enemy, a unit which has 1 health left, and him having 1 energy to play this. Again, it's a little bit... It doesn't wow me at first, but the nice thing is it only costs 1 energy. For context, Korax has an ability which costs 2 energy and deals 1 damage, although it gives him stealth. Anyway, let's go into his voice chat lines.
I am, first and foremost, a soldier.
I like that.
Strike hard and strike fast.
That's a good one.
Your deeds demand retribution.
I like it.
Never speak of this moment.
Alright, that's a good one actually, because you know, when you make a mistake, you can just say,
Never speak of this moment. The battle is almost won. Do not falter. This is an act of war against the Imperium of mankind.
Alright, I actually like every one of his chat lines. So both in terms of ability and chat lines, I think he's way better than Meros was. And then we got on to the main event, the man himself, Sanguinius. So we've seen Sanguinius before in the previews. He's got a nice reckoning ability. He's got a nice ability that after he attacks, his adjacent troops have +1 attack. So that's actually a very good synergy with having troops on the board. And the best thing of all, he's high initiative. You know, I forgot to check that. The others were medium initiative. Sanguinius is high initiative, so that's always very good. Alright, he also has a Reckoning ability, so let's scroll down and just take a look at the Reckoning. That has not changed. It basically starts at 20 cost. After you lose 10 troops, 10 infantry or space marines, then you can play his Reckoning. So he doesn't have a lot of vehicle synergy there. And when you do that, he turns into the Great Angel, who has a Requiem ability, which is gain +1 attack. Oh, that doesn't look like it's this turn anymore. So every time one of his neighboring troops attacks, he gets a permanent plus. So every time one of his neighboring troops dies, he gets a permanent +1 boost. And for 2 energy, he can deal 3 damage directly to the enemy warlord without taking anything in return. Very powerful abilities, both his passive as well as his active, and being an angel, I guess, he is unstoppable, which is very, very cool. And even in his base form, he does have unstoppable, because I guess Sanguinus comes with wings. Alright, let's take a look at voice chat lines here.
My heart swells with pride to fight you.
Oh yeah, that's interesting, sort of an angelic type voice, I guess.
I will take your silence now. My foresight failed me. So much pain could have been avoided. Foresight is a curse as much as a gift.
You know what? Foresight is a curse as much as a gift. I would love to play that every single time a Conrad Curse player plays the Curse of Foresight card and gets damage.
I do not die this day.
This is a good one to play right before you trigger your Reckoning. And so once you transform him, what are his voices like?
You sound eager to fight. Only death can pay our golden futures.
That's a good one.
The situation deteriorates. I see fire and blood, a world laid to waste. Our struggle with darkness is what makes us strong. Without demons, there can be no angels.
Okay, you need that one to play against the Word Bearers and Chaos. Alright, so that was interesting. We've just taken a look at all their warlords. Let's go through their cards now. We start with Drakia Squad. So this is a basic unit with flank. Normally a unit like this, which costs 1 energy and just comes in with flank, wouldn't be so great, except this has incredible Requiem synergy. So I like this already if you're going for a deck which has a lot of Requiem in it. Revenants as another 1-cost card. This one's a tactic. It allows you to pick any 3 friendly Space Marines who died, choose 1, return it to your deck and draw a card. So that's actually interesting because it's basically a 1-cost card draw in a game where most card draw abilities cost at least 2 energy. I see it being good value for the energy. It's just with only 30 cards in your deck, I'm not sure how great it is. The nice thing is it could allow you to recycle legendary cards, especially if you have a deck which is built to burn through your cards very quickly. This one might work out. The Bane of Demons. This is a common card. Interesting artwork. I like it. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. If it's a demon, stun it as well. So at the moment, this one's probably not so great, but with a whole new demon faction being launched in 2 weeks, I can see this card taking much more play around then. Clonatus Squad. So this is the first unit we're seeing which has that landing mechanic. Their stats are very sub-average for their energy cost, although of course they do have drop pod, and the enemy's going to be forced to try and take them out while they're in their drop pod. So that'll be well, at least take out the drop pod anyway, because if you don't destroy the drop pod, their powerful landing ability means they're a 4 attack, 3 health unit for just 2 energy, which is powerful. These guys will have great synergy with Escape Vent. Harem Squad. So these guys were in my reveal video, a fantastic Requiem ability. Every time one of their neighbors die, they deal 2 damage to a random enemy. I like them a lot. Imperium Secundus. Oh, that's cool. This gets you units from out of your faction. In this case, allows you to pick from a random selection of 3 Ultramarines or Blood Angels, choose 1 and add it to your hand for only 2 energy. So this is actually pretty economical. It's a card draw cost. It's a card draw ability at a regular cost, and it might get you a really handy card. I'm assuming legendaries would be in scope here. Legendaries and rares as well. So I think this one is not bad. I would like to see this get used. Next up, Melorus Squad. Deal 2 damage to any enemy that attacks a friendly troop with drop pod. Oh, this is great if you're going for a deck built around landing. Because as the enemy tries to wipe out the drop pods, these guys will be busy damaging them. Nice. A prophecy revealed. This is an interesting artwork on the tactic. Lots of sanguineous on their art, I guess. Deal 1 damage to all enemies and they lose stealth. For each enemy killed, draw a card. So this is actually exactly like the Informant Network card, which costs 3 energy and deals 1 damage to all foes and gets rid of stealth. But this one also gives you a card draw, which makes it better. So for the Blood Angels, I think you're never going to see Informant Network being used, and Prophecy Revealed will be there instead as the anti-stealth. Amicus Squad. This has Unstoppable and Landing. Not bad. So their stats are very slightly below average for 3 energy, but with Drop Pod it basically looks like bonus health, so it becomes good. And a very powerful landing ability and Unstoppable. Totally worth it. I like them. Baal's Fire. So this is a vehicle. It's a chariot squad. Okay, I guess they're sort of like jet bikes. It has flank, so it means it works well with Requiem. And it has Cleave 1, which is powerful. It's not bad. It has relatively low attack, but I see it being a useful part of a Requiem deck. Foresight. This is the first of the orange cards we're seeing. Give a friendly unit precognition until your next turn and Survivor 1. The nice thing is this says unit, which means it can apply to your Warlord as well. So it's a very defensive card. Furioso Squad. 3 energy, 3 attack, 3 health, totally average. But their Requiem ability is cool. So if you play these guys when you're expecting one of your units to get killed in the same turn, they become very good value for the energy, because you'll drop them and 1, maybe 2 of your units will die and they'll become a 4-4 or even a 5-5 unit for just 3 energy. They're good. I like it. Hermia, the first of the ships we see. This is a tactic. Give your Warlord friendly drop pods have +1 health. That is great for a landing focus deck as well. Oh man, I think I'm going to enjoy trying to make a landing deck. Judgment of Angels. Give flank to Astartes in your hand. Not bad. The Iron Hands had some similar cards which give flank to vehicles in your hand. Maybe it's because the Iron Hand vehicle synergy was, at the time it came out, not that popular. I don't know, I just don't see this one getting used too much because it's very situational. It's only good value if you have lots of Astartes in your hand. Until we see how the Blood Angels are with hand sizes, it's going to be difficult to, I guess, pass judgment on Judgment of Angels. Last Stand. Look at that art. What is that guy doing? I guess he's trying to hold off a bunch of demons. Something's wrong with his face, though. Give +1 attack, +2 health to a friendly troop. If it's an Astartes and your only troop, give it Bloodthirst this turn. That's great. It's probably going to be fantastic on very high health, high attack units. We'll see later on what it's like. I don't like the situation, how situational this is, that it's a tactic, so it's a card which takes room in your deck, but it's only really, truly excellent if you only have 1 troop on the board, and that troop is a Space Marine. I don't know, we'll see. Another epic card, orange, Matadus Squad. 3 attack, 3 energy, 4 attack, 3 health, so already great value for the energy. It has a drop pod, so amazing value for the energy. And landing, if that drop pod is not destroyed, you get another copy of these when they're revealed. That's pretty good. I like it. I think this is a good one. Running out of cards is always a problem, so units which create more cards are always appreciated. The Red Thirst. Give your troops +1 attack or +2 if they have Requiem. I think the +1 to your units for 3 energy is not that great, but if you have a Requiem focus deck, the +2 attack and health is incredible, so definitely a key part of a Requiem deck. Angel's Wrath, another tactic. Stun the enemy Warlord and deal 2 damage to adjacent units. This is actually pretty good. For 4 energy, you also get the Artillery Strike, which would do like the same, well, it would deal 6 damage, like 2 to the units adjacent to the enemy warlord, assuming he only has 3 units, but and 2 damage to the warlord. This will only damage the adjacent units, but stun the warlord. I think that's pretty usable. I think you probably would want either Angel's Wrath or Artillery Strike, probably not both of them in the same deck. I like it, actually, the more I think about it. Barabbas Rhinos. This is the first of the frontline units we see for the Blood Angels. Below average attack, okay health, but the nice thing over here is the energy ability. You can put in play a Harem Squad, and Harem Squad, of course, has that neat Requiem ability. So essentially, with Barabbas Rhino only having 3 attack, the main way it's going to be inflicting damage on your enemy is by creating Harem Squads and then having you attack with other troops, which overall starts to become, again, situational. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. We also don't know how important Frontline is going to be for Blood Angels. Another epic card. I like the fact they have lots of cheap epic cards. Eli Janus. He is an Archine. 4 attack, 4 energy, great attack stats for 4 energy, below average health, but of course he has drop pod. Oh, and here's the magic. If he survives coming out of his drop pod, he gains sneak attack, which becomes powerful because he has a whopping 5 attack. That's cool. I like it. Ferveus Command. This one's just a rare. Oh, neat. Look at that. Give flank to a friendly troop with drop pod. Interesting. I can't remember if attacking gets rid of your drop pod and therefore triggers landing or not. I guess we'll discover that. But being able to give flank to a troop for free is great. So I think this is a pretty handy part of a drop pod focused deck, although it does not have drop pod itself. But with 5 health, it's relatively hard to kill. Interesting. Shock Assault. This is a tactic. Deal 4 damage, and if the target dies, give friendly troops +1 attack and health. That's really neat. The Space Wolves have a 3 energy card which does 4 damage, but that's it. This one costs 1 point of energy more, but gives buffs to your troops. Because the Blood Angels seem to be a very troop-focused faction, I think this can be a pretty neat direct damage card for them. Vineman Veterans. Vineman Veteran Assault Squad. Surprisingly, for a unit with jump packs in the artwork, they actually do not have Unstoppable. When one of their neighbors dies, they gain +2 attack, and that's it. I don't know, I kind of feel that this is relatively not worth it, because you put them on the board, they have to survive, and with only 3 attack, they're not doing much damage back to anyone attacking them. So I don't think these guys will survive long enough to really see their Requiem ability get put to good use. So I'm not too excited about Vineman Veterans. The Blade and Carmine. So this was from my reveal video. This is excellent. So yes, please. This will be good for pretty much every one of their warlords. Lorator Squad. Unstoppable. Great. So they've got the jump pack, and so unstoppable. And if they're the only troop you put down, they gain flank. And of course, after that, you can put another troop on the board once they've gained flank. These guys are good. I like them. Moritat Tyboro. This is the first legendary we're seeing over here, coming in at 5 energy. It has drop pod. And if it survives, it destroys the enemy troop with the highest attack. So it's actually not bad. Even for its energy cost, its stats are kind of average. Above average attack, slightly below average health, but it has drop pod, which helps out a lot. The enemy has to try to take it out, or he loses his strongest troop. This is neat. I approve of Moritat Tyboro. I think I'd like to use him. Parada Veterans. So they've got jump packs and they are unstoppable. They come with a drop pod. Ooh, 2 damage to 3 random enemies. Why is this a common card? That landing ability is great. Wow. Okay, I like these. The art's cool as well. Look at them firing both their pistols akimbo style. Good stats. They've got unstoppable. They've got a fantastic landing ability, and with the drop pod, they're quite likely to survive. And the enemy will waste an attack or energy trying to take out their drop pod to stop the landing ability. The Angel's Tears. Requiem. Deal 3 damage to random enemy. Or if they're not getting killed, they can spend 3 energy to deal 5 damage. This is amazing. I love it. I love it. That is a respectable amount. That's a lot of damage, frankly, for just 3 energy. And the Requiem ability can be used in the same turn. So these guys can potentially deal out 8 points of energy while take 8 points of damage while taking no damage in return. That's incredible. Next we have Dawnbreaker Cohort. They have it's a rare card, 6 energy, average attack, below average health, but they have drop pod. They can gain Bloodthirst if the drop pod survives, but the problem here is with only 4 health they will die when they attack. Although it's 6 attack and unstoppable, they could deal 12 points of damage to the enemy warlord and then die, which triggers Requiem for anyone next to them. Okay, they can be part of a nasty combo if they manage to survive. So again, great synergy over here with Escape Vent. Between the drop pod and Escape Vent, these guys should survive till the next turn and deal a minimum of 6 points of damage. Orexis Veterans. So these guys were in my reveal video. If you have lots of unstoppable troops, makes complete sense to include Orexis Veterans. I think that's pretty much all I could say there. Save-in Terminators were in the early reveals. Relatively low attack, but a powerful Requiem ability for a frontline unit where they'll just become tougher and tougher. The biggest weakness with these guys is with only 4 attack, they can be vulnerable to Ambassador Melgator if you're unlucky. The Spear of Telesto. This was from early reveals. It's a 6 energy cost unit, but it gets cheaper and cheaper when a friendly Astartes dies, and it's the Blood Angel's hard remove tactic. It's not bad, even if it comes into your into your hand. Its base cost is the same as pretty much anyone's hard removal. Like most hard removal cards are 5 or 6 energy. This is comparable, so and it just gets cheaper as you lose Space Marines, so it's great. Yeah, it's a fantastic card. Put 2 copies in your deck. Blood's Wake. This is a Predator, a vehicle. Rally. Oh, okay. Deal 5 damage to an enemy vehicle, structure, or Titan weapon. That's situational. There's going to be many matches when the enemy does not have a vehicle, a structure, or a Titan weapon, and this thing's rally ability becomes pointless. It has decent stats, I guess. It's slightly below average. I think you'll probably find better things to do with your 7 energy. Let's see over here, such as Host of Angels. Put 3 Clonatus squads in play. Alright, where's my Clonatus squads at? Oh my god, it was these guys. Haha, yes, remember when I said there's better things to do with 7 energy? Yes, those better things is Host of Angels. Wow, that's a neat card. Imagine putting Host of Angels in play and then having some way of stunning your enemy as well. Oh, that would be nice to do. Ooh, another legendary is the Sanguinary Guard. So these are, you can only have 1 of them in your deck because it's legendary. It has unstoppable, flank, and first strike. So if it attacks any unit with 7 or less health, these guys take no damage. Front lines cannot protect against them, and they have flank, so they will always attack an enemy troop when they drop. This is amazing. I love it. Cloten Dreadnought. Oh wow. Oh damn. Look at this. So it's got drop pod. It's got well below average attack for 8 energy, but it's got a good amount of health. If it survives landing, so its drop pod is not destroyed, it can attack twice those, meaning it'll do 10 points of damage, which is great. Or you can also use its energy ability, which is instantly destroy an enemy troop. And frankly, if you've triggered its Bloodthirst, it can wipe out 2 enemy troops in a 10 energy turn. That's very, very nice. I like it. It's a good way of making a card with very low attack, relatively low attack, extremely powerful. Crimson Paladins. These are a rare card. Requiem, gain Survivor 2. That's not bad, because their stats alone are average for the energy cost, meaning they're worth it. And then as units around them die, they become tougher and tougher to wipe out. The only watch out is no amount of Survivor can remove you from hard removal cards like Outflank. So they're a little bit vulnerable to that. And also they don't bring anything special like Frontline or Unstoppable. Ugh, now that I think about it, they're okay only. There are probably better things to do with 8 energy. Such as the Crimson Spectre! Look at this. This is an area damage card, but it's area damage combined with healing. So, I like it. Imagine playing this in response to an Ornithop's Barge, where the enemy creates a whole bunch of troops. Then you play Crimson Spectre, wipe out his board presence, and heal yourself for potentially up to 12. That's pretty powerful. I like it. And the final legendary, Venerable Jophiel. What does he do? Costs 9 energy. He comes in with Frontline. His stats are 5 attack, 10 health. Great health for 9 energy, poor attack. But as neighbors die, he becomes extremely powerful. On the other hand, I can see there's going to be times when he completely wrecks the enemy, like when troops around him are dying like crazy and his attack becomes huge. But with 10 health, if he doesn't manage to finish the match off in his first attack, he's probably not going to survive, because there are a lot of ways of getting rid of a 10 health unit in late game. In my personal opinion, from just first looking at these cards, I think this is probably the weakest of the Blood Angels legendaries, but I might be wrong. We'll see over the next 2 weeks how he actually turns out to be in practice. And the final card we're going to see here is Subitos. So Subitos looks like a... oh, I can't remember the name of this assault tank. It's not a Land Raider. It was bigger than Land Raiders. 10 energy, good health, sub-average attack, adjacent units gain a +1 attack. It's not that great. I think this will be pretty much a pass. You'll probably only see it in event play. Alright, so that's the Blood Angels. Hope you guys are excited to start using them. I'll be posting up another Blood Angels video hopefully sometime later today. I'll plan to buy the pre-constructed deck, and we'll take a look at how it does in action. Alright, so hope you guys have fun playing with Blood Angels today. Let me know what you think, and there's going to be plenty of action with them over the next couple of weeks. Alright, see you on the battlefield in the event, guys. Bye for now.